Hi, I'm Blazer. No, not that one. Since FE9 recently released on the Switch 2 and is having its anniversary today, or had it depending on when I got this video out, I decided to make a video discussing the cast of FE9. Specifically, I decided to give them personal skills based on what I thought would fit. As a disclaimer, while I'm not terrible at this gaming design in theory, I'm going for flavor over function here. I don't give any characters like plus 200 crit when they breathe, but I am aware that these might seem unbalanced or off in some way, so please feel free to tell me in the comments where I messed up. Also, be sure to like and subscribe, and all the other algorithm things, as they support me in the long run. Without further ado, let's start with... Give me a minute. Hey, oh, oops. Also, if you can't tell, this is my first video that I've ever actually recorded here. Oops. Anyway, Ike, Solidarity. Ike deals +1 damage and takes -1 damage for every adjacent ally. Ike fights for his friends. He wants to fight for his community and grow strong enough to support them and defend his troops on the front lines. Next up is Boyd, Challenger. When at full HP, Boyd gains +10 hit and crit, but takes -2 damage. Boyd is confident in his strength, Sorry, I stutter a lot, oops. So when he's at full HP, he hits harder and more often, but gets reckless and less careful. Next up is Titania. Allies within 3 spaces of Titania gain +5 hit and evasion. Bonus is doubled if the ally is facing a wounded foe. As a leader, it is Titania's job to watch over her soldiers and lead her team, and she does this by issuing commands and warnings during battle. Oscar, Composure. When foe initiates combat, Oscar gains +10 hit and takes -2 damage, but loses -5 crit. Oscar is a calm individual, and when under pressure, he manages to keep his cool and stay focused. He may not be flashy, but it gets the job done. Hopefully it doesn't make it clear. Anyway. Reese, Avidity. Allies healed by this unit gain +10 hit and crit, just +10 hit, for the next attack. Reese aspires to be a hero and warrior, but due to his sickly nature, that isn't happening anytime soon. But his zeal and desire to be strong and helpful inspires others to fight harder as well. Shinon, Insolence. When this unit is attacked, allies within 2 tiles. Spaces. Whatever. My script is different than the thing. Gain +10 hit and evasion for the rest of the turn. Shinon constantly provokes enemies to attack him due to his rude nature, but as he's an archer, he knows that he shouldn't be taking hits, so whenever one of them does manage to score one, he gets mad and tells his allies to do a better job protecting him. Truly a Shinon moment. I'm really... Gatry, Casanova. For every female unit within 2 spaces, unit takes -1 damage but loses -5 evasion. Gatry tries to show off in front of the ladies, and he chooses to do this by intentionally taking hits he does not need to show off how strong and tough he is. Soren, Grandmaster. If unit is dealing effective damage or can perform a follow-up attack, unit deals +2 damage. Bonus is doubled if both conditions are met. Soren is a skilled tactician who knows how to exploit the weaknesses of the foe and use them to his advantage. Whether that be due to their lower speed or their actual weaknesses in combat, he can use that power to tear the enemy apart, which shows up in the form of more damage. Oh, now it shows the transition I put in. Whatever. Mia, Aspiration. When adjacent to an ally with higher strength, unit gains +10 evasion and crit. Mia takes inspiration from all the strong warriors around her, and uses her inspiration to fight harder with tools and techniques that she uses at her disposal. That's a weird way of putting it. Passed me. Oh well, we're doing this now. Ilyana, Appetite. Unit gains +1 attack speed for every consumable item in their inventory. Ilyana is not that complex. She's always hungry and consumable items are like food, so she gets a bonus when having items because they make her less hungry. I guess. She's eating statue frags here. Mist, Gentility. Mist is a kind girl who doesn't like violence and wants to do everything she can to see the people she cares about stay alive and don't get hurt. So she worries about the people she knows are hurt that she can't heal herself, and warns them to be careful. I feel like I'm making sense. Yeah. Rolf, Determined. Unit deals +1 damage for every higher non-moon stat that the foe has over this unit. Rolf is determined to prove himself so he can fight alongside his friends and family. Even when the odds are stacked against him, he strikes in hard and fast, hoping to prove his worth. Yeah. Maybe it'll make him good. Anyway. Marcia, Uproar. If unit is at least 50% HP is at 50% or less, enemies within 2 spaces lose -5 crit evasion and deal -1 damage. Marcia is not a very patient person, especially when she loses her temper. When she's hurt, her outburst would rattle her enemies and cause them to lose their focus and make them easier to deal with. Maybe I should have just made this unscripted. Oops. Leaf, Spiteful. Unit deals +2 damage when a barrack foe initiates combat. If foe deals effective damage, unit also gains +15 crit. Leaf is incredibly spiteful and hateful towards the barracks, so whenever one of them has the gall to attack her, she does more damage to them, especially if they themselves use weapons that can harm her or her fellow goos. Mordecai, Empathy. Allies within 2 spaces take -2 damage and gain +10 crit evasion. Adjacent enemies gain half this bonus. Mordecai is a sweet and peace-loving guy who seems like he'd rather help others than hurt them. He tries to defend his allies from harm, and perhaps his worry concern extends to his enemies because he doesn't really want to hurt anybody. He's so sweet. Anyway, Volk, Insurance. At the start of every map, if unit is deployed, you can spend 1,000 gold to give this unit +1 to all stats, including movement. I might make it +2, whatever. Volk is a mercenary, and he's very stingy with his money. So, the idea is that you give him money and his abilities, and it's not that complicated of a skill. He's not that complicated of a guy. Hey. Kieran, Bullheaded. For every 2 spaces this unit moves, unit deals +1 damage, but also takes -1 damage. Arcane to Oscar Zabel here is a very reckless and stubborn knight. When Kieran charges valiantly into the fray, he gains more pride in the power that he has and does more damage, but leaves himself open to more danger, because he's kind of an idiot. Yeah. Nevany, Courage. Unit gains +5 hit and crit for every allied unit adjacent to target. Unit gains an additional +5 hit and crit if they initiate the combat while this skill is in effect. Nevany is a timid character with low self-esteem and probably doesn't think her own contributions can make much of a difference. When she fights alongside others, she grows more confident and opens up more. Yeah. Braum, Companion. Unit grants +10 evasion and crit evasion to allies within 2 spaces. Bonus is doubled for allies supporting this unit. Braum is a simple man who cares about his community. He likes supporting his friends in combat and being around them, and being around him invigorates others. To his acquaintances, his presence is welcome, but to people he knows, his friendship is invaluable. And finally, for today, Z-Hark. Unity. Allied units within 2 spaces gain plus 10 crit and plus 5 to their transformation gauge when untransformed every turn. Z-Hark is Tellius' CEO of anti-Laguz racism. Everything he does in the story is in service to defend and protect the Laguz, so he helps them stay alive, and inspires them to fight faster for their freedom. That's gonna be it for me today. I don't have an ending card on this. Oops. Probably should have made one. If you have any different ideas, feel free to put them in the comments. And while you're down there, once again, please consider liking and subscribing. I can do better than this. And it'd be nice to see, and wouldn't it be cool to see this guy get better? like a Fire Emblem trainee unit or something? Whatever, thanks for watching. Bye.